Caught in a Tinder trap, this charming guy popped up as my dream man, telling me, "You're holy wow level beautiful," while hiding a 6-year engaged girlfriend. Now I'm torn between exposing him and keeping the peace. Should I risk it all for her? I am seeking genuine advice on whether I should inform a woman that she is being cheated on. My instinct tells me to stay out of it and avoid drama, but I also dislike knowing that this man is out there betraying his girlfriend, who appears to be a truly wonderful person. Backstory: I met a man on Tinder and we immediately connected. He made me feel amazing, was incredibly charming and easy to converse with, and the things he said made me feel valued. Phrases like "I have never connected with someone so quickly," a sentiment I shared, and calling me "holy wow level beautiful," along with reassuring my insecurities, were quite impactful. He claimed he had not been in a relationship for 2 years because he was concentrating on his career. He stated he was not interested in casual encounters and just wanted one person to come home to. We live in different locations and discussed the possibility of making a relationship work by only seeing each other on weekends. We expressed excitement about spending time together, with him emphasizing that we would do so again and again. At one point, he mentioned that if we were intimate, I would be stuck with him, which, in hindsight, was a clear warning sign. He really manipulated the situation to make me believe he was a decent guy genuinely interested in something meaningful with me based on his words. He invited me to his home and provided his address. We made plans and talked about our intended activities, both sexual and non-sexual. I am confident these plans were sincere and not just a man indulging in a fantasy through chat. To clarify, we never actually met up, thankfully, because last night after he fell asleep while we were talking, I decided to search for him on Facebook. He was unfortunately careless enough to share his real name, which contributed to my impression of him being genuine. His profile picture, along with all recent profile pictures, showed him with a woman who was obviously his significant other based on the comments. His page was somewhat restricted, but not sufficiently so. It was easy to discover who she was. Her profile picture also featured them, and her profile indicated they are engaged. They have been together for approximately 6 years and engaged for 4. They recently went on a significant trip at the end of November, and she had posted numerous joyful pictures. My broken heart immediately hoped they had recently separated, but even then, the statement about 2 years without being with anyone was false, so I recognized he was dishonest. Frankly, it was quite obvious from her posts that their relationship is ongoing. She is attractive and seems like a genuinely nice person. Although he and I never actually slept together, our conversations and exchanges certainly crossed the line into cheating territory. Moreover, given how easily he lied and manipulated, I can assure you he has likely done this before successfully. I suspect she was back home for the holidays and he thought he could easily connect with me, then abruptly end contact or make me fall for him and initiate something more. Not that part matters much, but that is just my theory. I immediately took screenshots of his profile and our conversations to protect myself. I confronted him and told him that I was aware of his deceit and how reprehensible he was, which led to us ceasing communication and him blocking me, which made saving the screenshots a wise decision. Now I cannot shake the feeling that this situation is not right. Thankfully, I had not invested so much time and energy that I am furious on my behalf. I am more annoyed and upset with myself for believing him. However, this woman does not appear to deserve this betrayal. That being said, it also seems they have a lovely life together, and I do not want to be the person who disrupts it. I am reluctant to get involved in drama and do not want my private life or conversations exposed in any way. I can foresee many negative outcomes from this and am strongly inclined to remain silent. Yet I think of her and wonder if it is acceptable for me to stay silent. Am I a bad person for not saying anything? Or am I a bad person if I do speak up? Or is it none of my business and maybe others think I definitely should not intervene even if I want to? I am unsure. I would appreciate any advice. I was cheated on in the past and discovered it myself, which was an absolutely terrible experience, but at least I was able to move on afterward. However, I do not even know how I would approach this situation. I feel very conflicted about what is the right course of action here. Thank you all in advance for your support. Story 2. My 21-year-old girlfriend turned violent when I asked her to leave my apartment after discovering she was cheating on me with her ex. "You don't love me," she screamed, brandishing a butcher knife. Now facing charges, I'm grateful for my supportive family as I move on from this chaos. My girlfriend and I moved in together quite early, just 2 months into our relationship, due to her difficult ex-mother-in-law harassing us. During this time, I was working and managed to get us a new apartment with improved security that was much better than the previous one. The day before moving in, she became intoxicated while I remained sober, taking care of her 8-month-old child. We had friends over and my buddy brought his cousin, who began to black out and tried to make a move on her, adding her on social media. I kicked everyone out so we could get some rest. We ended up arguing, almost breaking up. During our argument, she became physical, but I excused her behavior, attributing it to her being intoxicated. We recorded it on video. I decided this would be a fresh start. No ex-drama, no troublesome friends, and we weren't drinking. The week after moving in, she decided to go through my phone while I was sleeping. She found nothing particularly concerning, except for a girl who had been responding to my Snapchat stories. I had replied once with "that's cool," after the girl complimented my cat and had previously mentioned that my girlfriend and I were cute together. In her eyes, I probably should have unadded her, however, I typically just leave people on scene. This led to a significant argument where, once again, she became physical but was sober and accused me of cheating. We managed to talk it over, and I gave her the promise ring I had intended to give her at 6 months, which was just a couple of weeks away. I bought flowers and wrote a lengthy love letter apologizing. Then 3 days ago we were talking and she suggested that maybe we needed space and what about long distance. I explained that I do not engage in long-distance relationships as they have never worked for me in the past and I am not a fan of them. I said that if that was the case we could break up and I would support whatever decision she made. She then became furious and we started arguing, trading hurtful remarks, during which she claimed I did not love her. In a moment of rage, she grabbed a butcher knife and attempted to cut me. I ended up holding her arms, urging her to calm down. She then went to the bathroom with the knife and proceeded to harm herself and inadvertently me in the process. We continued to argue and I started filming because I had been through similar situations before. Eventually, I calmed her down enough to get her to bed, where she fell asleep. At that point, I decided to check her phone while she was sleeping. I discovered that she had been texting that same guy since that night and had a plan to cheat on me at a hotel, while also bragging about hitting me when he questioned her about me in their messages. Additionally, she was sexting her best friend and declaring that she was in love. It was around 2 a.m., so I chose to go to sleep and in the morning informed her that she would need to leave my apartment since she was not on the lease due to being a felon. She became furious, insisting that she was not leaving and then hit me and attempted to choke me. My sister and her husband, who were present in the living room, heard the commotion. I ultimately called the police because she refused to leave, and she has now been charged with 4 counts of domestic violence, enhanced by harassment and child abuse. I justified the situation for a long time because her ex was in prison for abusing and raping her, and she did not have a family life to speak of, having had a really tough childhood. However, I realized that I had dodged a bullet. Part of me still loves her and the state is pursuing charges. I said I would not, but my parents and friends want me to. At times, I feel genuinely bad for her because I know she needs help. I also feel sympathy for the baby. I grew attached and projected the idea of family onto her. However, I recognize that this situation could have been much worse. I could have lost everything. She attempted to make accusations against me, and the only thing protecting me has been the recordings from either my security camera, friends, or family members. I know I should not tolerate the disrespect and that she probably never loved me. She did not contribute in any way financially or emotionally, and I was likely just a free ride for her. It hurts, but I am moving on from all of this. My support system, including friends and family, is incredible, and I am grateful for them. I also found out that she was already on probation for attempting to run over her ex with his car. I just decided to share this. If you are going through something similar, I urge you to leave before it escalates to this point. If you are in a situation like this and haven't left yet, just go. It will spare you from the pain and trauma. Story 3. Caught my girlfriend on Tinder 1 year after our first date. I created it because you annoyed me, she claimed, as she matched with over 40 guys while still at my place. I said it's over, but we cuddled one last time. Can I ever trust her again? Hello, I am attempting to cope with reality and my decision. As of last Friday, I received a tip that my girlfriend of 9 months is on Tinder. I utilized the Cheaterbuster website and discovered the profile. Later, using a fake profile, I found that she created it on the 24th, exactly 1 year after our initial date. I was heartbroken and took Friday off. The situation became even more challenging because we had already booked flights and concert tickets for Saturday. I wanted to confirm the truth, yet I also wished for her to enjoy our time together if the allegations were accurate. At the airport, while she was showing me pictures on her phone, the screenshot of the Tinder profile unexpectedly appeared. Some of her friends had previously sent it to her asking if it was her. I inquired about this, and she immediately explained that it was from 2 years ago when she was seeking friends but was only approached by men and gay women. While she was applying her makeup, I logged into Tinder on my phone using the code from an SMS and email, and to my dismay, it was indeed her profile. From the 25th to the 27th, she matched with over 40 men, responded to at least 15 of them, and even initiated one conversation, though there was no flirting involved. After the concert and flight home, I continued to maintain the facade of a happy relationship. We watched a movie together, and I wanted her to be well-rested before confronting her. I started by asking if there was something she wanted to share with me, dragging on for about 5 minutes. She simply said no and appeared surprised and annoyed by my sudden change in demeanor. I sent her a screenshot and she admitted rather flatly, "Yes, I created one because you annoyed me in the days before and I wanted to meet new people." She also confessed that she had lied to me the previous day. I followed up with questions about when and why she did it. She explained that she feared I might hurt her, which led her to create the profile. Then she said that she wanted to ensure I was the right one by communicating with other men, although she insisted that she was not searching for other men. She added that she sought attention, which I believe. Overall, she mentioned that our relationship felt too perfect and that she had never experienced something like this before, which is why she wanted to sabotage it. Ultimately, she admitted it was impulsive and she is unsure why she acted that way. She claimed she would have eventually told me but was afraid. Throughout our relationship, she often stated that I was the best thing that has ever happened to her. What troubles me the most about the first 20 minutes of our confrontation is that I had to almost interrogate her, dismantling her replies piece by piece, and I had to provide tangible proof. I am uncertain if she would have come forward without me sending her the screenshot. I still love and care for her. I even believe to some extent the reasons she shared with me, but there is no longer any trust, especially after her lies and the shifting explanations. However, after all of this, I do not think I am still in love with her. She does not deny that what she did was wrong and that she has damaged our relationship. We cried together, comforted each other, etc. She asked me not to forgive her, but then requested that I not leave her and give her a chance or attend therapy together. I do not feel that I am overreacting. It felt good to express everything, and I would like to hear your opinion. I forgot to clarify that I told her it was over yesterday, but we spent the last night together, and the intimacy reminded me of our honeymoon phase. In the morning, she asked me once more if she needed to leave the apartment. I told her that I love her, but everything I said yesterday still stands. Edit, I remembered she mentioned that once she realized the gravity of her actions and how bad she felt, she could not sleep. However, she installed the app on the 24th, replied to several men on the 25th, spent the night of the 25th at my place, wrote to more people between the 26th and 27th, and recognized what she had done on the 27th or the day one of her friends sent her the screenshot. She then deleted the app but not the account. What pains me even more, and I showed her the screenshot, is that she responded to a man on the 26th while still at my place. I suppose I needed to sleep on this and listen to the recording again. The rose-tinted glasses are off. I have not completely lost my trust in her, but I do not entirely believe what she said either. Story 4. My wife of 4 years had an affair with a married maintenance guy, claiming she was unhappy. After helping her career change, I found her journal. Now, divorcing calmly, I'm tempted to tell his wife and expose their lies, should I? I have never posted before, but I would appreciate some feedback. Approximately 7 months ago, I discovered that my wife of 4 years was involved in an emotional affair. She claims that it was not physical, but I later learned that this statement was false. For a while, I could tell she was behaving differently, and I was doing everything I could to try to restore our relationship to its former state. I left her notes and even organized a scavenger hunt that I set up the day before, surprising her with it when she woke up. The prize at the end was concert tickets for both of us. She did not even find all the clues and was less than enthusiastic about the game, even though she normally enjoys anything I would do that required time and effort. This was a significant sign, as she typically loves those kinds of activities. One night she went out with a friend and her behavior had been very unusual for about a week. She kept a journal and I could not help but look at it. It was the first time I had ever invaded her privacy and I found everything laid out in there. To say I was devastated would be an understatement. When she returned home, I confronted her and she admitted the truth but then turned it on me. She told me she was unhappy because I worked a lot and was stressed about finances. For context, she had 2 children when we met and held a job that paid close to 6 figures. After we got married, we had a daughter together as well. She expressed a desire to find a different job that allowed her more time with the children because she had been the sole breadwinner with her ex-husband and felt she missed their early years. She took a job at their school and also accepted a pay cut of about $60,000, which significantly disrupted our budget. I was willing to support her in this decision because the one thing you cannot regain is time, and I thought it would be acceptable to struggle financially for a while so she could create memories. We gradually fell behind on everything, and after 1 year, I suggested that she return to her previous job. She reluctantly agreed that she would if necessary. When I asked how she felt about it, she indicated that she hated it, so I proposed that we try for 1 more year, each of us pursuing a promotion, and then reassess the situation. Her affair partner was the maintenance man at the school, which is why she did not want to leave. He is also married and has 3 children. To my knowledge, his wife is unaware of the situation. My wife moved out about 3 weeks ago, and we have completed the divorce paperwork, but it still needs to be notarized and submitted. I have remained as calm as possible throughout this entire process and have not engaged in any petty behavior. We have had a few arguments, but never in front of the children. I have been hesitant to take any action because I want to ensure that everything is settled smoothly for me, as I believe my ex would likely react poorly and try to take everything I have. I am wondering if I should contact his wife once my divorce is finalized and inform her of the situation. She deserves to know, and if I am honest, spite also plays a significant role in my thoughts. Any thoughts or feedback would be appreciated. If more details are needed, please let me know. I just didn't want this to become too lengthy, which might discourage people from reading it. Update. It seems unanimous that I should inform her. My question is, how should I do it? I have done some research and found her email, phone number, and address online. 1. I could simply send her an email. 2. I could send her a letter or even attempt to meet her in person at her house, although this seems risky. 3. I took screenshots of his friend list on Facebook before he blocked me, and I could share this information with everyone they know to create pressure on her not to forgive him if she considers doing so. Second update on February 21. I have decided to inform his wife. I will send her an email and offer to meet up if she wants more information. I am also considering calling the principal of the school to ask if I can file a human resources report. I do not plan on filing the report, but I want to use it as a means to notify all of his coworkers about the kind of individuals they both are. I need to finalize my divorce first, so it will take a little time, but I will update here when I do. Should I create a new post to ensure it is seen, or is it better to just update this one? I have never posted before, so I am unsure of the best way for those interested to see it when it happens. Story 5. After 9 years and a daughter, I learn of my girlfriend's betrayal. I never thought I'd betray you, she said, justifying her affair for a year. Now I'm stuck providing for her and still trying to be the good guy. Can love survive this kind of damage? I have been with her for almost 9 years, from the ages of 17 to 25, and she is a year older than I am. Our relationship was wonderful for about the first 3/4 of that time. I was a broke teenager who did all the romantic things: flowers, gifts, heartfelt messages, and more. As time passed and we moved in together, I started working a job where I was employed much more frequently than before, so I was not able to do those things as often as I once did. She also struggled with depression, and I tried my hardest to support her. At one point, I began noticing character flaws. One day, I went through her phone and found troubling messages where she expressed to her sisters and friends that she wanted a rapper to be her boyfriend and husband. When I confronted her, she downplayed it, claiming it was just a joke. We discussed the matter, and she stated that she would work to earn back my trust. However, during this time, she became increasingly disrespectful, less affectionate, and frequently denied having sex, citing tiredness or a lack of desire. I thought this was simply a phase that couples go through after being together for a while. Later, she told me that I made her feel unwanted because I did not take the initiative to plan dates on my own, which I found somewhat understandable, as I had indeed fallen short in the smaller gestures I used to perform regularly. This persisted throughout the year. Towards the end of that year, she transmitted chlamydia to me, and I was completely unaware until I received treatment, at which point a nurse asked me what I planned to do. I was confused, and she elaborated on how one contracts the sexually transmitted infection, leaving me in shock and disbelief. The following year, I caught her texting her sugar daddy. We had a heartfelt conversation during which she expressed remorse and admitted she was wrong. I did not say much afterward, and we continued as before. Midway through that year, we moved into a new apartment that I took the lead in securing because I knew she wanted me to take more initiative. As time passed, our relationship appeared to flourish, yet I still struggled to trust her due to everything that had occurred, especially since she went out clubbing often. Our sexual relationship also changed. She began taking more initiative to be intimate with me physically, and while it was great, I felt that her body had adapted to another man, although I was uncertain and in denial about it. This was mentally consuming me, and I reached a breaking point when she became pregnant. I told myself I had to stick it out because I come from a broken home and did not want my daughter to experience the same. That was almost 3 years ago, and our daughter is almost 2 now. During that time, we have had wonderful moments together, and I have seen her trying to become a more mindful person. However, in these 3 years, we have only had sexual intercourse twice, which is undeniably frustrating, but I have been compassionate due to what I have witnessed her endure and the changes it has imposed on her body. She experienced typical postpartum challenges, and I was there for her, yet I still felt physically neglected. We spoke about this issue, but nothing significantly changed. Recently, we had one final conversation on the topic, during which I asked her if she had been unfaithful, and she admitted to it, claiming it was a one-time occurrence but attempted to justify it by expressing her feelings. She later apologized, acknowledging that it was wrong regardless of circumstances, and that she should not have put my trust, health, and our relationship at risk. I eventually discovered that the affair lasted much longer than she had indicated. I remain uncertain about the exact duration, but I suspect it was at least a year. We have been attending therapy, and while we are working on our issues, it is going quite well. She has been a bit more transparent, yet I can sense she is still holding back. She continues to lie, and I still seek answers. Unfortunately, it is time for me to end this relationship, as I genuinely love her and value our connection as partners and co-parents, but the damage is simply too severe at this point. Here I am still trying to be the good guy. She has been financially dependent on me since her pregnancy, and I have taken care of everything. She has a nice car, and we live in a nice house. It is difficult for me to just kick her out because she is the mother of my child and I still care about her, but I have to let this go. There are certainly more details I am omitting due to the length of this message.